This side first, that side next.
Well, you know, it goes without saying, feels a little bit better tonight than it has the last few times. You know, I give Iowa credit, man. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the country offensively. They're a little short-handed here tonight. Goes without question. You need your guys, and hopefully C.J. Frederick is okay and continue to play the way he has this season. He's had a great year. Utmost respect for Luka Garza. He's got to be the National Player of the Year. I thought that our guys actually did a pretty good job on him at times, and man, what an offensive weapon he is in terms of how he scores. But for our team, you know, we were mentally right, and when we're mentally right and we play as a unit and we're doing the things that we're supposed to do, I think that we have a chance to be a good team. We've shown that, whether you beat Iowa or Michigan State or Florida State or Ohio State, wherever it is. But we also can be that team at times that, you know, lacks the carefulness of you can lose it. So we have to be mindful right now. We have a few weeks to go here on the regular season, and hopefully that this win can show us that if we're right and we're about the right things, which is each other, the good things can happen. We had a lot of contributions tonight. I thought our defense in the first half triggered offense. Also thought Devontae stepped up and obviously, you know, really got cooking there for a brief stretch and, you know, really gave us a shot in the arm, which is, you know, hopefully what a senior likes to do down the stretch is be ready to go. But we had a lot of contributions, and we're going to enjoy it. This league is absolutely, I can't, you know, what it feels like game in and game out to just, you know, be able to go against these type of players and coaches. It's hard, and to get one feels great, and, you know, I'm proud of our guys. You know, you take on water, it gets negative, and not only does it get negative, but it also makes you sort of go into a shell and not want to be with your guys, not want to practice. It makes you not want to, you know, listen to the coach. And sometimes you need just a shot in the arm every once in a while to just, you know, relieve some of that pressure that it's okay. So hopefully that was our night tonight, and we can get back to business here of playing better. We have definitely have not been right on the road. And, you know, hopefully here down the back stretch, which we have a few to go, we can play better on the road. And got to be more together and tougher to be able to go into Michigan on Sunday and have a chance. And that's what we're focused on now.
Archie, Race Thompson was doing a lot of little things on the floor, playing good defense.
Yeah.
Career at 10 points. I mean, how big was it to have him kind of back and healthy and being able to produce at such long minutes?
It's huge. I've said it for a long time that, you know, we're only as good as, you know, all of our players are. But Race has emerged. I thought he was emerging right leading after the Nebraska game. He came in and did a great job against Michigan State. He goes down, knocks them out for, I guess, 3, and then unfairly or fairly, you know, he plays against Purdue on Saturday, and I didn't think he was still right, but he was ready to practice, and he took him about 4 days to actually get going in practice. But this week, much different. You know, luckily we've had a few days, but he's at the right place at the right time. He's about the right things, and he's a winning player. He helps you win. He makes winning plays. And, you know, his 24 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever it was tonight, man, he did a great job. And 10 points and 4 steals, 4 defensive rebounds. So I was happy for Race, obviously, that he didn't, you know, sometimes when you get out and you get knocked out like that, it takes you a while to get back. But he's back, which is important.
It seems like Devontae's threes, most of them were the catch and shoot as opposed to kind of hunting them through the dribble. Is that something you've been talking to him about, or is that?
I've always talked to Devontae about shot selection, but Devontae knows when he's open and he needs to be ready to go. And I thought most of his threes, especially early in the game, come off assist passes, whether it was zone, inside out. We're always better. All you have to do is look at our stat line and just look at the rebounding, look at the free throw attempts, and I can tell you if we're taking good threes because they're going to be coming out from the paint, not off the dribble. You know, if we're taking end of clock threes, that's not our team. You know, obviously he can make one in a while or he can make some tough ones, but most of his shots tonight I thought were good catch and shoot, look threes, and then he got hot and he obviously started to get going. But, you know, we needed it. I mean, we really needed it. I mean, our team needs some type of confidence boost in big games, and when he's played well, we've played well. And we got to bottle it and figure a way out how to keep him rolling, not to get 27 every night, but I will say this, consistency. Can we get in 2, 3, 4 games in a row where we have a guy playing, you know, outstanding basketball? And tonight he was one of the best players in the country, you know, and, you look back on some games and you're like, where was he? He's just got to stay with it, the focus. And sometimes, hopefully, light at the end of the tunnel, coming down the home stretch here of his career, hopefully he sees the silver lining that my team needs me. I got to be ready to go every day. And if he does, he'll have more performances like this.
Just how impactful was it for you that not only you played well in the game, but I think it was 4 threes in the first 8 minutes, 5 in the first 10 or 11, just that he got going early enough you guys get ahead, get the lead?
Yeah, I mean, I have confidence. And we started off the first 4 minutes of the game, I think it was 9-5 or whatever it was. But he was able to bang a few. And then once he banged a couple more, obviously the place gets going. And our guys feed off that. I mean, a little bit like the Florida State game early in the year. He starts getting it going like that, guys know it. Jerome stepped up and banged one right behind him, though. So it was like 5. Rob's shooting the ball really well. Rob's shooting the ball with great confidence. So we have a confident shooting team, and I think when we play the right way, I think we were 10 assists in the first half. Second half, I didn't think our defense was very good the last 10 minutes, but I'm not complaining. I mean, just take it and move on, and we'll figure out a way to get a little better. But, yes, I mean, I thought that definitely if you look for a spark plug, if you look for a guy that can really generate some energy for our team, he's been that guy.
Sorry, you kind of addressed it a little bit there, but you've been with him 3 years now. How do you, I mean, not necessarily something as prolific as tonight, but how do you get him going as a coach? What have you found that just kind of sparks anything?
I was just talking to his brother Danny in the locker room to see if he could skip the regular season for the Lakers and if he could hang around here a little bit. Seemed that helped. He said he couldn't. So maybe we can FaceTime him every day or something. I don't know. Devontae he's a unique guy. I mean, he really is. He's a smart guy. He's got a good IQ. And when he's engaged, he's really good. When he gets lethargic, down on himself, or starts to look around funny, I think you can see a different player out there. But we don't have time for that right now, and I think he realizes that. Just in talking this week, we don't really have time for him to be filling this thing out. He's got to hit the afterburner here and try to push through for us.
I guess when you see Devontae kind of just in the game itself having a performance like he did tonight, what are you telling him kind of in the game and what's going through your head as you see him getting that level of hot?
I mean, I think a couple of the timeouts, obviously, we're talking about finding him in the zone, starts inside out, keep moving it, keep finding him. Obviously, he was hot. The thing with Devontae is just play smart, especially when the game starts to get into that time and score element and, you're trying to hold a lead. Let's be smart. Let's not dribble the ball up the floor and get it picked or something like that. Just be smart. But, when he gets going and he can shoot the ball, you just want him to continue to take good shots. That's it.
We're starting to pile on Devontae questions, but you talked at the very beginning of the year about taking the good with the bad with him. What's just the push-pull been like in terms of, like you said, some of those things, figuring out how to try to not make him do too much. How have you seen him evolved in that, and how have you seen him maybe be stubborn and not evolve with that?
I think Devontae starts and stops with his ability to show up ready to compete and practice. He's a competitive guy, and I don't think that he's practiced very well through his down times. I think that he lets things get on him. He's hard on himself. He gets down. Sometimes he's frustrated. But I think it carries over into the everyday process with him that I'm not playing real well right now. We'll see, whatever. He doesn't have that fire where he just comes flying out the next day like, here I come. I wish he had that. When he does, put some things to the side and says, all right, it's about winning. It's about the team. I got to come to practice and work. I can tell when he's going to look to be playing well. Unless this week, leaving after the Purdue game, I think we all felt like obviously not very good. And I think he took approach this week like my team needs me. And he stepped up and did a good job leading into the game, not just tonight. He did a good job leading into the game. Key for him, let's just move on to this next one. Because I've said this throughout the course of his career. He's had 4 or 5 games in a row or a month in a row where he's played great his entire career. And then he's had some times where he's kind of come off and he's played a little bit down. This year, he's yet, in my opinion, and he knows this because I talked to him, he's yet to string together a back-to-back. 2 in a row, 3 in a row. And I'm not talking about 27. I'm talking about you're looking out there and you're seeing one of the best guards in the Big Ten. And what we're at that time now, like, you can't wait 3 more weeks to come back around. You have to come back around now. And the whole key for him is just come back to work tomorrow and be focused in and get ready to go. It's not about how many you got tonight. It's about, can you be really good at Michigan on Sunday? We got to find a way to get him consistent, because there's no question about it. I mean, you talk about an X factor with our team, how the difference of some of the plays, shots he makes when he's playing good basketball, how much it helps our team. Just not only the shots, but the passes too. I mean, he makes plays, you know, that other guys can't, but we need consistency out of him. And I'm not telling you guys anything different. I don't tell him.
Early in this game, there were 3 or 4 possessions where just full court very quickly, pushed the ball hard from one end to the other. Was that sort of the plan, and try to create a bit of a sense of urgency?
Yeah, I mean, you know, as the coach, you're constantly on a quest to try and find, you know, your identity and keep your identity going. I think we've lost that here in our struggles. We're not getting to the foul line. We're not rebounding. Part of not rebounding, getting to the foul line, is playing quick, playing in transition. And whether we were playing against man or zone tonight, we really had an emphasis that we wanted to keep it simpler and get it up the floor. And I thought our guards did that. Our bigs ran. We got some rim presence. And that's going to be big coming down the stretch, because getting fouled, being able to rebound, playing in transition is the whole key. Now, not every team lets you do it, but we have to be able to say, are we trying? Are we running hard? Are we pushing the ball? Too many times I think our teams become half-court oriented with the ball just being dribbled across the floor. It doesn't need to be dribbled. The ball needs to be heated up. It needs to be get it up there. And when our bigs do a great job of running, we need to get them early touches. And 17 free throws at half. I know we had 10 assists, 17 free throws, and we were +7 on the boards. I right away, you just look at the stat sheet and say, we're playing right. We're playing pretty good right now. Second half, I mean, I'm not real sure. The runs, we obviously struggled there for a couple times, but I look at the turnovers in the second half. We turned it over too many times, but we ran pretty good offense for the most part tonight and got pretty good shots and good touches.
Yeah, how important was it to kind of get back to that identity and carry you through stretches, the rebounding, you know, taking care of the ball in the first half? I guess in the second half was
rebounding's rebounding's the deal. I mean, rebounding is the deal with this team. Now, race helps it. When you can play race 24 minutes and you can play trace, you play Duran. Justin was on the offensive glass here tonight, 4 offensive rebounds. Trace has 7 offensive rebounds. I mean, when we're rebounding the ball, especially on the offensive end, that's how we generate free throw attempts. That's how we generate bonus. It's how guys aren't playing as much in the first half because they're in fouls. Rebounding is the whole key. Turnovers has been hard all year for us. Rebounding has been good up until about the last 2.5 weeks. We haven't been a good rebounding team. But tonight we were. And you look at +11 on the glass and you look at the free throw attempts, you say to yourself, we're pretty physical and we're pretty aggressive tonight. That's what we have to be. 16 assists, made 11 threes. Devontae obviously made 7 of them, but Rob banged two more. Rob also had a big 2-point basket there when we kind of, I think it went 70-58 on a 2-point finish. But Rob played pretty solid tonight as well with 12 and 5.
Last question, Cam.
Yesterday you talked about how you either had 2 options guarding Luka, either throw everything at him and hope the other 4 guys don't kill you, or kind of guard the other 4 and hope Luka isn't the one that kills you. Was it just a natural progression that you kind of went with the latter, or was that the game plan coming into it?
No, the game plan is going in. They got other good players, and you know I feel bad that C.J. Frederick got hurt because he's obviously a great shooter. But I thought Justin and a couple guys really did a good job first half and then early in the second half of not letting Wieskamp get going. That was a big part of the game. As much as you want to focus in on your attention on Luka Garza, I don't know how many times he shot the ball where you could help. When he's facing the basket at 17 feet, or he's a center who's picking and popping, I mean, you know, you got to live with some of that stuff that he gets. You got to try to make his deep catches a little bit hard. But like when Wieskamp gets 30 and he gets 30, that's when I was really good. And I thought Joe got 16, but I'm going to say last 6 to 8, 4 minutes is when he really started to score. I thought the first 25 or 30 minutes of the game, we did a good job of making that game really one guy's kind of getting it done, and he got it done. I mean, with my own 2 eyes and watching him play, man, is he tough to deal with. What a terrific player he is. So he's having a great year.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thanks, yep.